We're into season 9. We've got this narrow 4-2-3-1 that I want to show you. We've signed a wonder kid or a known wonder kid. Big money. Well, not big money, 13.5 million, but big money for us. We've got the youngest squad in La Liga. We're 5th in division. We're going to do a game as well today against Almeria. We've got all the transfers out and in to show you. It's a big episode. Let's go. Right, everybody, so here we are, 12th position. We finished season 8. We've had 2 seasons of, just no consistency, trying to find a balance. If you weren't aware, I've got to play with a trequartista. I have to play a 4-2-3-1 in different variations, but generally those are the 2 rules. And we found it a little tough. We scored plenty of goals, 70, but we conceded 66. I think a little bit down to the tactic that I'll talk about in a little bit, even though we have kind of changed it again and the reasons behind changing it. But there was a lot of work that needed to be done. We got about 52 million because we sold players in January. Kumbula went and some others went in January. It gave us a nice pot of 52 million with other players to sell. With the most obvious being Jankovic. He had a 56 million pound release clause. Look, we had him for 2 seasons. We ended up getting 50 times his value, so we hadn't done bad, have we? It was disappointing that we've kind of let things go, but what he has done, the money that we've got from him has really put us in a good spot now. The board have given us 80% of the money. We're able then to strengthen. I've strengthened, I think, really well this summer, and our squad, our attacking players in particular, are looking so much better in terms of quality. So Jankovic, first one out the door, 56 million. Adam Bakunu went, I actually liked the look of him, and I just never was able to give him the opportunity. He was like physical height of 6.6. It's interesting now because we're going to talk about the right back area in a little bit and what to do with it. He may have suited actually the current team that we're playing in because we're playing that narrow 4-2-3-1. We do need a little bit from our fullbacks. So he barely featured for us in season 2. It was nice just to clear a little bit of dead wood. Big one has gone, Mateus Sula. He didn't actually want to go, but to be fair, he's bagged himself $500,000 a week. He was on 70 grand, I think, with us, so he's got a nice little pay rise. We got 36 million. It'll rise to 46, I think, over the next 3 years, so we'll get all the money for that. As you can see, his attributes are okay. He is 27. He's had a decent run with us, 4 seasons with us. But when you've got someone coming through the youth system like Miguel Angel, and we're using him as a winger at the moment, 17 pace, his attributes are getting up there. He's one of our own. It made sense to really clear the pathway. And once again, that money, Jankovic money, was already given us about 150 million pounds. Profita was the next one out the door. A nice player, but we've made money on him again. 1.9 million, played for us for 3 seasons. Just didn't do a lot. He's quite nice and a bit tidy, I suppose, but never really, in terms of numbers, in terms of really dominating games, we've actually changed the role from one of our key attacking players into a defensive, more of a defensive player, making it work superbly well. So we managed to get him out of the door, always kind of whinging about maybe not playing as much as he wanted. So once again, money in the bank. We've let go Albert Carbonell. Now, chances are he may come back to us. I would have liked him to kind of develop one of the fullback positions for us. Not been the case, but I've let him go out on loan just so he can play because he wasn't going to be playing. Antonio, come through our youth system. The time was, we were struggling to make the 25 quota. He was on about 7 grand a week. We've absolutely made nothing on him, like 500k, but he just isn't at the standard of what we want to be, which is sort of like a top 6 Spanish side. And we've strengthened at right fullback. Quismera was whinging a little bit. He's okay. Look, he played a season for us. We got him on a free, got him out 3.8. I think it rises, rises to 4.7, which we'll get. So quite happy with that deal as well. Galini's gone out on loan. We've signed a new goalkeeper. Galini's gone out on loan on his last year, so we won't see him again. And the big one, Kusi is there. He only had 11 months left on his deal. We managed to finally get him out. He picked up an injury for 5 weeks, which I thought was going to scupper. And loads of terrible bids were coming in, 23 mil. And then eventually, everyone started kind of putting in big bids. And he chose the best one. Manchester City, 42.5, goes up to 56, I think. I think he's got to play 50 games, I think. 14 mil after another 20 league appearances, so that's not bad. I don't think he's actually played for him yet. Fingers crossed he can at least play 20 league games, Jesus. 20% profit, and then a couple of things over the next 6 months as well. So, yeah, really happy with that to get him out. Like, he's good, lacking a little bit in the technicals. I do think with that introduction of Mora, our wonder kid, another striker that we've signed, we're not going to miss him. And then on the out, we are down to pretty much one player left from the original side. Kevin Villadres is gone. We've now only got Danny Sanchez left, our left back, who is in the B team at the moment. He has gone nowhere. Free agent. Would be a nice little pickup for someone. I wouldn't have minded him actually just going into our second team, but he didn't want to sign a new deal, so he was released. Right. On to the ins. Mosquera's come through the door. Already unhappy. I just got him because he was cheap. At the time we were... And we'll talk about it in a little bit, kind of deciding what to do with this right fullback, inverted fullback. We were finishing the season with inverted wingbacks that I'll talk about in a little bit. He's a player that I used to really like on the game. In his early days at Valencia, he was absolutely class. We've paid 825 grand for him, and I think he is a half decent backup for us. Mika Faye was part of the Elche side that got relegated. I just really liked his physicals. He had a release clause of about 6.5 mil. Once again, he's our backup left centre-half and our backup left back as well. Not happy that he's not playing much, even though he did agree to be a squad player. Our new number one is Lorenzo Sentore. We got him from, was it Empoli? Yeah, 10.75 release clause. We've let in a few too many goals, but I am liking the look of him. Only 21 years old. He needs to work on his first touch. He's passing. Punching tendency is not bad, but what you want your keeper to be good at, aerial reach, handling's exceptional, reflexes, rushing out and throwing, all very good. We're not asking him to do too much in terms of build-up as well, just give the ball to the centre-half, so I'm quite happy that his first touch and passing are not great. Hugo Barashina has come in. We wanted him in the January. They didn't want to do a deal in January. We waited till the summer. 14.75 for a player who is 6'6", tremendous physicals, and has already approved. Some of these have actually gone into the green. So really excited of how he has developed. Once again, we are conceding too many goals, but I'm not going to put it down to him. Probably the big one, Yusufa Moukoko. He was transfer listed, boys, for 13.25. And even though we've got Mora, I thought I'm going to have to sign Moukoko. Advanced forward, he started pretty well. 5 goals in 11 games, only 4 XG. So we just need to create more chances for him. That is key. Fingers crossed we could do it. Yeah, he's not exactly highly rated at the moment, 3.5-star potential, but he has got the attributes to score an absolute ton of goals for us. Big earner though, 125,000 a week. Stefan Bastesic is in. We were started playing with inverted wingbacks basically, and I thought he would be ideal as a backup. And also him being Spanish, a decent height, decent age, loads of flexibility, I thought was really useful for us. However, he's had an absolute stink bomb start to the start of the season. We are playing him out of position. I am thinking I can still make him into a decent inverted fullback with the attributes that he's got. He just needs to be quite basic there, and I think he is going to be a decent enough player for us. 24 grand a week. I wanted more Spanish players, and I thought, well, do we get 10 million pounds for him? You know, I'm happy if we just give him enough games. Hopefully we'll be in Europe next year and we can do a little bit of rotation, but I am looking at trying to mould him into a half decent right fullback. And a big one, Estevayo, bit of a wonder kid, lost his way, Palmeiras to Inter Milan. 2 years at Inter Milan, no, only 1 year at 2 years at Inter Milan. Didn't play at all for him last year, and we've snapped him up for a lot of money, 120 grand a week. We're getting big, but you know, this is what happens when we make these sales. Potentially he has the option of moving on at some point. Can play on either flank, dribbling 15, finishing 16, first 17 first touch, 16 passing, 17 technique, 17 vision, 17 off the ball, 15 flair, 18 determination, composure 14, decisions 14, pace 16, strength and stamina good for a playmaker as well. So what is there not to like about that deal? £24 million. What a signing we have made there. Second choice keeper in, Ruben Blanco. We lost a keeper. I thought we'd better go with 3 keepers. I wanted a Spanish one just to give us a little bit more of the quota that I like. Really cheap. He's been around. He's been at Frosinone, Marseille, Udinese. Probably will retire at the end of the season, but he's just a backup. And one of the last ones to come in is Luciano Fontana. He is an Argentinian right fullback. Good height. Potential to be a little bit of maybe even a starter or a first team player next season. So there's that option as well for us to think about. We've also signed another player in January who can play right back. That's in our B team. So £5 million, good height, good physicals already for 18. He's not 19 for another couple of months. So yeah, if we can just keep on that, get that passing up a little bit. He needs to start playing in the B team, which he's not playing at the moment. Our B team, by the way, boys, that actually got relegated on goal difference at the end of last season. Our B team has just struggled a little bit. We've kind of pulled players across, and we're just not developing those absolute wonder kids that we hoped we would. Obviously, when we move up, the standard, becomes greater and the threshold gets higher for these players to come in. So what I am actually going to do with Fontana is just going to go into the under-19s for now. Get in the under-19s and play in there for a little bit, because we have got another right-back in Artur Ramos, who is, by the looks of it, who's playing right-back for us? See, that's the issue. This is the issue with the player pathway, so we need to get rid of him. He needs to go into the C team, because he doesn't want to play. So that's always got to be careful. I've talked about it a lot and creating that player pathway, so that now should open up the opportunity for some of our young players to get a little bit more of an opportunity. That is all the transfers. We have still got £78 million to spend. We've got loads in the wages, but we've only got about 75,000 a week before we hit the Liga registration, which is up to £1 million now. I think we're rated 7th or 8th in terms of biggest budget, in terms of wages. So we've set ourselves up nicely. Okay, so tactic-wise, this is what we were looking at the end of last year. And the idea was that the Volante would move up into these areas, Ocon would move in, and then we would have the two inverted coming in and having sort of like a 3 at the edge of the area, and was working actually really well. We then changed it because in the summer, because I couldn't really find that really aggressive midfielder, and I wanted to just be so much more creative in that final, sort of like that build-up phase of play. We've got both Teo and Arda Güler can both play as holding midfielders. So what we did do was change this to a register with the player instruction of get dribble more and get further forward. It's worked superbly well. If you look at Güler, who's played the most of his time there, started the season, he wanted to leave in the summer. I tried to get him out. We couldn't arrange a deal for him. His wages have gone up, but he's now settled. I'm hoping over the next couple of weeks, his trust in me turns around. We've got plenty of time to sort it. He's got 3 years left on his deal, so plenty of time to change it, and he's looking absolutely fantastic, boys, in this double pivot, and hopefully we'll see him in action properly at the end of the video when we play against Almira. The issue we were then having was last year, because that Volante was going in there, the two inverters would come in. However, it's not happening as much now because of kind of Güler holding his position. Bazicic is just kind of staying here, and we're staying. The two fullbacks are ending up being a little bit too wider. We weren't then also getting much, apart from Angel on that right-hand side that really enjoys it. We weren't getting much. The strikers were getting quite isolated, so I thought, right, let's go and change it up. And change it up we have done. We've gone with 2 shadow strikers who are going to break the lines in between the centre-halves and the fullbacks. I've got the instruction on of stay wider. We'll see how important that is. Güler as the register. Now, I'm thinking, on this left-hand side, because we've got the anchor, can we get a new left-back in? I am looking at a left-back from Liverpool who is Spanish, and I'm tempted to do a deal for, because Marsha can't really do it. Marsha was great. I wanted him. He chose Liverpool, so he probably made a good choice last season. But they do have a Spanish one somewhere. Edu Sanchez, who looks like has come through, so Barcelona signed him as a youngster, but looks really good. Good physicals, good age. Milan are interested, but I think we can do a deal for him. So that is my thing, that we have him on that left-hand side, really aggressive. Like Marshall was so good, but he's more of a holding midfielder / centre-half. He is also 28, so we're going to watch out for that a little bit. Potential maybe to sell him on in a season. So we've got that option there. And then with the Bazicic role, I'm thinking about going inverted fullback again, because we're still conceding too many goals. We're going to get the width, hopefully, from the 2 Trequartistas. We'll see about that in today's video, but in today's game. So we're going to really focus on the role of the fullbacks. Ledesma, I do think, if we need to strengthen anywhere, it's around these areas. Like that front 3 is brilliant. Angel's going to come back in. He's been injured. We've got Makoko. We've got Teo with the player instruction of hold the ball up as well. He's made a fantastic start. 7 goals for the season already from the Trequartista spot. So we've got that Trequartista sorted. Ocon is tremendous. We've got a brilliant double pivot in there. We've got a good goalie. Ledesma, I'm not entirely sure on. We're conceding too many goals. We're conceding too many goals from set pieces. 5 already in the league, which, considering we're 5th place, we've just lost to Real Madrid. 82nd minute goal and a penalty. And the first goal was from a set piece. We have the worst defensive record from corners, conceding 5 already. Not enough clean sheets in there, so I'm just thinking today, can we get us a little bit more solid? We've got the attacking players in them 4 and Gula to work with. We're going to have an overlap on that left-hand side, you would have thought, in Marsh. We have got working to the ball into the box on. We're going still our style, much shorter passing but higher tempo. Really good to watch Gula just getting it and shifting it. But we definitely, I think, can potentially strengthen. We'll see how it looks. I'm a little bit worried about this right-hand side. However, Miguel Angel is naturally a winger who doesn't like to do this role yet, but has done, I think, in the games that he's played, yeah, he's done all right. 7.9, 6.9, and an 8.1. So he's finding it okay. He likes to burst into spaces. He'll come wide anyway because of the stay wider instruction, but whether it's going to be too narrow, we will see. Right, 5th in the division. Everything is looking good. Patreons as well. If you want that tactic, the 4-2-3-1 narrow, it is now available for the Patreon. Link down in the description. So make sure you go check out if you'd like to support the channel. We are playing Almeria, who was Real Madrid have just hammered Sevilla 7-0. So we hadn't done bad, agonisingly losing 2-0. And it was a pen, as I said. 82nd minute to a many header and then Vinicius Jr. And we did have a big chance at 0-0. Shepesky should have scored. Our only other defeat coming to Barcelona as well. So we're looking like potentially a top 6 finish might not be a million miles away. The board want top half. Top half is the expectation. With media prediction 10th and we're 5th. So obviously we're overperforming that at the moment. We've smashed Betis as well. 3-0. Was it 3-0? 4-0 a couple of games ago. So, yeah, things are looking good. No doubt we're playing Almeria, second bottom. We'll probably lose today. But we are going to go with Bajcetic, is that inverted fullback. Ledesma, Barashina, Marsha, Ocon. Not Bajcetic. Bajcetic. Ocon, Ardagula, Miguel Angel, Teo, Estevallo, Mokoku. We will play it on extended highlights as well, just to see if we can work on that right fullback a little bit and see. There's Carrillo, our old fullback. We've got 2 massive centre-halves that should win more headers what they do. It's low crosses that we're struggling with a little bit. Right, here is Bajcetic. So I'm quite happy with that. Obviously, we're not going to get overlaps, but we are going to get is a run from Teo, and he's scored his 8th of the season within 7 minutes. And all we're doing, I think, at the moment is just playing between the lines a little bit. Bajcetic in, lovely little move from Angel. Shadow Striker just coming into a little pocket. Teo then running in behind the centre half. 2 other bodies in the box. We do flood the box pretty well, but that's a tremendous start, tremendous goal. 1-0. Right, let's see how we build. So where is... So Bajcetic is really wide at the moment, which he would be because... But what I'm expecting him to do is just stay as the 3. Marsha's obviously going to bomb on that wing back on attack, even though he's not amazing at it, but he will do it. Estevallo. What I do like about the shadow strikers, the central shadow strikers, the 2 wider shadow strikers, should I say, is... Oh, I should have done better. They find themselves in really good areas in terms of just in those little pockets between sort of like right backs and left backs and midfielders and sort of like those like half spaces, and they either get tracked, and if they get tracked, it leaves you space for Mokoku or a fullback to run into. If they don't get tracked, then they can get themselves on the ball. They're going to score. It's a great save from Senatore. Now, we do seem to be, still at times, quite easy to play through, like this. I do think, you know, it's Ledesma. Ledesma's not great. He's not a great defender. Something that I'm going to have to look at, I think. Something that I'm going to definitely have to look at. He can maybe then potentially go in midfield because he is a ball player. Like if we look at Ledesma, he's better attributes. Concentration, decisions, leadership, positioning is not great. Vision, no. Passing, marking, tackling. The marking, tackling is all okay. So we might need to go out and sign a better centre-half. He was wanted by a couple of clubs in the summer as well. I think a couple of Saudi clubs came in, a couple of bids. I rejected them and he wasn't bothered. But there's also the potential of maybe selling him on and getting a better centre-half in. Good football. Teo over the bar. Right, Gula free kick. We've not seen much from Gula yet. I'm sure we will at some point. He has done really well with his numbers at the moment. Goals, assists in particular, key passes as well. Normally, a couple of the goals we've had from sort of like strikers, Makoku's runs have been Gula breaking the lines into those shadow strikers and then shadow striker playing a ball through. So he is without doubt a really good creator from deep. Teo, Makoku. Oh, Angeli might be offside. Yeah, offside. Good runs there. So not massive in terms of percentage. And what I did do against Sociedad was just brought the tempo down a little bit. And we ended up going from about 43% to at half time to like 52% at the end of full time. So if you wanted to gain a little bit more possession in games sometimes, just lower that tempo. We'll still get the runners and we'll still get the passes, but it just helps you just hold on to the ball a little bit more. Don't rush it. They're in here, aren't they? They've missed an absolute sitter. Okay. Not an amazing first half. I'm going to be totally honest. We played better against Real Madrid in the last game. Right, Estevayo, Tayo, Angel, narrow. So this isn't too bad. I don't mind this. I'm just hoping that someone then comes out wide. There's a little bit of a support angle. Ledesma's gone. We are focusing play through the middle as well. We've worked it really nicely. Gula. Still Gula. Holding on to it nicely. He's going to hit that. Oh, he has hit it, boys. He has hit it. Absolutely buried. Really patient. I do think lowering the tempo actually is going to work for us a little bit. Because we are looking at those really nice little cute passes. We're working it into the box. Waiting for them runs. Another assist as well from Yusufa Moukoko. See our possession stats have just gone up a little bit. Just would have been on slightly lower tempo. We've always got the option as well as opening out the play. We're playing on sort of like the standard width at the moment. But what we could do is definitely open it up so we're playing on a lot wider. Just to get them, maybe them wide plays, maybe just 5 10 yards even wider. Estevayo, he likes to be inside as well. He's more of a creative player. And I was just thinking, you know, the more creative players we have either running off the ball or threading balls through, like he can do both. 3 goals as well in his game so far, so really impressed with him. He's obviously got the lot, dribbling, pace to get in behind. Teo free kick, cleared. We've got a break on. So Bajicic is on a 6.7 at the moment. We are playing an anchor in. We'll do a change now. We are playing an anchor there, so we're going to always have that to build up. Maybe we just go for like a wing back on support on this side maybe. Who can do it? I have even been thinking about, we're trading Kobe to play there as a little bit of an extra backup. Shocking at tackling. We've also got this dude as well, Mika Farah, who was in our B team last year. We signed him we signed him in the summer, and I was hoping he'd be happy with the season in reserves, and he's not. But it looks like he's going to be a big part of our plans. Trying to get him as much game time as we can. But let's go. Go on, let's go Kobe. And then Bajicic will just have to be one of those players that's in the squad. Like, European football's massive. Keeping a squad happy, you kind of need European football. Right, we're going to make some changes. Shapeski can come on, and so can Ingleses. And this is where then, once again, we try and get the youngsters on. So Mora, who is our Colombian wonder kid, looking really good. And then even, let's get Mika Farah on. I don't know that Ledesma seems to be getting caught out with balls in behind him. So I don't know if maybe just putting him on cover might just help. A little bit better of a starting position. We're going to get a clean sheet. Probably not. No, we're not. Of course we're not. Of course we're not. Own goal. 90th minute. 91st minute. I've put stop crosses on as well. Like, it's just too easy. Too easy. Who's that? Like, copy. We do need to sign fullbacks. Fullbacks is a thing. I think we got the money in January to do it. So we might just sign 2 new fullbacks. I really want to know, guys, like that right fullback, what do you think we should go with? I don't think an inverted fullback is needed. We might just be brave and go two wing backs on both sides. One on attack on the left-hand side because we've got that anchor who will sit a little bit on that left-hand side, and then just a wing back on support, just to make sure that we're getting options. Sometimes we're going to have to play out wide. We can't always force it through the middle. Some teams, play with sometimes a 5 at the back with them with 2 sitters and stuff like that. So them teams are going to be really difficult to break down. But there we go. 2-1 Almeria. Not absolutely amazing, but I think what we'll do is lower that tempo, have a look at playing with those wing backs on one on support, one on attack. It's another win up and around the top 4, which is pretty cool. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. Smash a like on today's video, and we will see you later in the week, probably Thursday, for another episode of the Treq inspired Malaga.